The rain wouldn't stop that night. Ethan sat on the cold bench outside the small grocery store, his clothes soaked, his eyes empty. He had lost his job 2 weeks ago. His girlfriend had left him, and he hadn't called his parents in months. Everything felt pointless. He watched people walk by. Umbrellas, laughter, car lights, a world that seemed to move on without him. Then the store door opened, and a woman in her 40s stepped out holding 2 paper bags. She stopped, looked at him for a second, and said softly, "Rough night, huh?" Ethan didn't answer. He didn't want pity. But she didn't leave. She walked over, placed one of the bags next to him, and said, "There's some hot soup in there. It's too much for me anyway." He looked at her. Tired eyes, gentle smile. "Thanks," he mumbled. She nodded and said before walking away, "Hey, it gets better, I promise." Those words hit him harder than he expected. It gets better. He hadn't heard something kind in weeks. That night, he went home, warmed the soup, and cried. Not because of the food, but because someone had cared enough to speak to him. The next morning, something changed. He opened his laptop and updated his resume. He emailed 5 companies, even though a voice inside said, "What's the point?" But he ignored it. By the end of the week, one of them called him for an interview. When he got the job 2 weeks later, he couldn't stop smiling. He wanted to find that woman again, but he didn't know her name, only her face and those words, "It gets better." 6 months later, he was walking home after work. At the corner, he saw a teenager sitting on the ground, tears in his eyes, holding a broken skateboard. Ethan stopped. He knew that look, the same hopelessness he had once felt. He sat down next to the boy and said quietly, "Rough day, huh?" The boy sniffed. "You could say that." Ethan smiled. "It gets better, I promise." The boy looked at him, surprised, then smiled faintly. As Ethan walked away, he realized something. That woman's words had passed through him, like a small light in the dark, and now they belonged to someone else too. Moral message. Sometimes you don't need to change someone's life with money or big actions. A single kind word at the right moment can be enough to bring someone back to life. Kindness spreads one person at a time. You'll find even more interesting and exciting stories here, so make sure to subscribe to English Stories with Arif. I'd also really appreciate it if you liked this video.